Hey guys, what's up? It's another response to our favourite anti-vegan Sv3rige, the scientifically illiterate conspiracy theory aficionado. Raw meat, that is the only healthy thing for a human to eat. Vegetables are out to kill you with their carrot toxins. Exercise is bad for you. Water is dehydrating. The earth's flat and staring at the sun will give you energy, so you don't actually have to eat anything. So that's the level of his sort of intellect. Today he's criticising young Vegains. Ferdy, I know him well, a vegan influencer in the health and fitness niche. Lovely lad, I've hung out with him, knows his stuff. So let's see what crazy nonsense Sv3rige makes up and can't back up with any scientific evidence. He never ever does, because of course he's completely back to front on every single thing he says.
What's up, vegan savages? This is a reaction video to Sv3rige. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name.
Nobody does.
You're watching.
It's okay.
This is no hate, this is just based on love. I just want to clarify because
Cool, I respect that.
You respect that? That's very odd, because you did a whole video saying how the only way to be happy is to make others unhappy. You like to eat raw, decapitated pig's heads and squirrels with the fur still on in front of vegans to upset them. And you just delight in causing animal suffering. So why you're virtue signaling now, I don't know.
I think you didn't represent me in a right light in this video of a malnourished vegan. I stopped flexing, but here's a flex for you. Like,
Get our biceps peaks there.
Ever before, I'm feeling so good. And I want to clarify now in this video how you put me and that is so injustice in my view. I'm vegan for 8 years.
Look at that, 8 years, no animal products. He looks as ripped as all hell. He's put on tons of muscle. He's much bigger than you, Sv3rige. So why are you putting him in a video entitled Epitome of Malnourishment when you're not? You should be putting yourself in the video. Like, you're half as impressive as him. What's wrong with you?
Here is our view. I already watched your videos back when it all happened. I and a lot of other people believe that your appendix bursted because of the vegan diet.
You and a lot of other idiots can make up whatever you want about veganism, but without extraordinary evidence to back up your extraordinary claims, you're just chatting nonsense, and nobody with half a brain would believe you.
That's the main reason I put you in the video, because it's not normal to have like 5 surgeries in your 20s.
It is if you get appendicitis, which 1 in 20 people get, and normally is between ages 10 and 30, so that's very normal. 1 in 20 people get it, and if you're in a third world country where they don't have medical facilities that are very good, and they don't treat you in time, yeah, it's going to burst. That's what happened. It's just science, Sv3rige. Look it up once.
And I built all.
How do you not know this?
As a vegan. No animal products whatsoever.
I've never said that you can build any muscle at all
Well, you shouldn't, Sv3rige.
as a vegan. You put a picture of you eating meat, probably a plant-based diet with some cooked, destroyed meat.
Who eats raw meat other than you, Sv3rige? Pretty much nobody. It's disgusting. It's not appetizing to humans, and it gives you food poisoning. Who in their right mind would do that? We've been cooking for 2 million years, right? Hello.
Work out. Of course you can build muscle, but you also know that you can build even more muscle if you eat meat.
Nonsense. Show me the science. Show me the evidence. Why are you half his size, Sv3rige?
So the pictures are irrelevant.
Everything that comes out of your mouth is irrelevant because it's just mere conjecture with no evidence whatsoever.
How the animals suffer, how the environment is just destroyed by our lifestyle choices eating animal products, and how harmful it is to our health. So I don't touch that shit. I'm educated that I don't touch it, and I just know how to eat a healthy vegan diet. And I've built over the years all my muscles on a vegan diet, 100%. I put you some pictures here before and after. Let's first watch it and then I explain what happens.
My arms. It is so weird for me to see me.
Step back, see what I want to get. Yeah, let's put off the music and let's start talking.
The amount of muscle he just piled on so quickly, Sv3rige. How are you not seeing that his recovery on a vegan diet, no meat, looks amazing?
Yeah, you saw me there buff like I am now. I regained that like that because what happened? Because in Bali, my appendix ruptured, which happens to every 10th person out there. It's like the lottery, and many people are unfortunate. And
That's not true. It doesn't happen in nature. I never heard that this happened to anybody.
It happens if you don't get medical attention in time. Why do you not know this?
Who eats a healthy diet, You assuming that the appendix is just rupture and that surgeries are normal nowadays and so on, really naive thing.
Not really, because 5% of people will suffer with appendicitis, and most of those people will not be vegan, because it's not that 5% of America are vegan. It's like, is it 1 or 2 or 3% are vegan? The vast majority by far of people that have appendix issues are not vegan. So what's your point? You just need to run the numbers to realise that.
It's dangerous, really.
I've not had appendicitis, and I've been eating vegan food for 10 years.
Because you're just saying that anybody could get sick, and it's not.
Anybody can get sick. That's just how it is. You can eat as healthfully as you want. You can be unlucky. But you can't eat tons of animal products for years on end and be lucky, I'm afraid.
Normal to get sick in any way at all.
People never get sick if they're eating well. Right.
But it's such a quick fix. It's inflamed, you get it out, no problem. But my pain tolerance is so high, so in Bali it didn't.
You can't say that it was no problem, of course, obviously, because you were suffering. And you also cut out the sound of the second clip where you were saying that you were craving animal foods. You probably...
Why would a vegan influencer say on media that he craved animal foods? I don't believe that for a second. So again, provide evidence. You always say that vegans crave animal foods. I heard you on a stream saying you had the most delicious blood ever. I forget what you said it was, but you said it tasted just like tomato juice. So every time you accuse vegans of eating tomatoes because they crave blood or some such nonsense, it's because you're projecting, because you want to eat plant products and you're stuck eating horrible old decaying flesh because you've made your bed and now you've got to lie in it.
You don't want to show this to your viewers again, so they see it, but...
So why would he do it in the first place? It don't make sense, does it, Sv3rige, old boy?
Of course, this proves that when you are really starved, your natural senses are so intact that you crave what you actually naturally want.
You sure do. I did a 7-day water only fast. You know what I craved? Berries. They were flipping delicious.
And that's when you crave animal foods. Because that's what actually nourishes you and repairs your body.
You realise that animal foods are made out of plant foods, and so we're animals and we can just eat the same plants and get the nutrients in the same way, but we don't get the sat fat, trans fats and cholesterol that are killing like every other person. Silly boy.
Go to the hospital, so actually my appendix ruptured, and then there was no good hospital, and then it got worse and worse and worse because of a ruptured appendix. Please look into it. Ruptured appendix, if it gets inflamed, has nothing to do with diet whatsoever. It's just that some particle gets stuck there and it inflames. It can be whatever food particle, mostly it's particles from your poop. Hard stool, just something gets stuck there, it inflames, and you get it out, or you wait until it ruptures, and then you need a bigger surgery. I'm just...
Okay, but why would it get stuck? You don't even understand.
Because 1 in 20 people have particles, and mostly it is compacted poo. It gets stuck in the appendix. It's like a little offshoot, like pocket where that does happen. Now, who has the most hard stools? A meat eater or a high carb vegan with tons of fibre? So I rest my case.
Understand it yourself. What if it's all the fiber that you eat? What if there's no space? What if...
It's no good saying what if and just giving conjecture. You need to show evidence. Fibre is great. It keeps everything moving along. It's what we're designed to have. It makes peristalsis happen to keep things moving along. And there's no fibre in animal products. So you're just shooting yourself in the foot, Sv3rige.
This is why you're always bloated as a vegan. This is why you feel full and so on.
That's weird. Don't speak for me, Sv3rige. I feel absolutely amazing.
You not connect the dots? What if you eat your natural diet of raw meat?
Natural diet of raw meat. Sv3rige, I made a video quite some time ago, 51 reasons why carnivore eaters are dumb AF. So just one factor. Carnivores have big, powerful temporalis muscles. Put your fingers here, clench your jaw. Feel that tiny little twitch? That's your temporalis. Now that is responsible for pulling the jaw up into the skull, so when a carnivore bites his prey, he doesn't get his jaw ripped off its hinge. Now put your fingers here, clench your teeth. See that massive movement? That's your pterygoids. They're massive. On the inside is the masseters, similar. What do? They move the jaw left to right. What's that for? Grinding plant matter. Carnivores have a fixed angle on the jaw. They can't do that. Only herbivores can do that. That is just one thing. Here's another 50 other things. Proof that we are not carnivores in any way, shape or form. If you could debunk just one of them, I'll eat my hat, Sv3rige. So you're just making yourself look really, really stupid, son.
Stomach mostly like I did, and then you're in a third world country where a hospital like World War II, no doctor, and it just got downhill because if something needs to be taken care of and no one helps you, it gets worse and worse and worse. Your inflammation's going up.
Hey, listen, Sv3rige, he's just debunked what you were saying. I guess you're going to backtrack now and apologise, aren't you? No, of course not. That's not. It's against your agenda, so you won't.
As you know, people just die because of that. Now we can easily fix it, but I was at a place where they couldn't easily fix it, so that's why my health went down. But then as soon as this footage, when I arrived in Germany, they fixed me up. So yeah, let's keep watching. So I think it's so unfair to, veganism, no, it has nothing to do with diet. And
Still, there's no sound of you talking.
Oh, you that must prove your point then. You must be right, Sv3rige, because he's not got the sound on the video that he's talking over. What a genius.
And it's also not normal to lose that incredibly much weight, whatever you went through.
Don't you not think, like, if you got a burst appendix, you don't want to be shoving a load of food in there, Sv3rige? Come on, you're not this stupid, are you? Surely you're not. If any of your followers are swallowing this guff, then I feel really sorry for them.
Bali. Again, that's our opinion, and that's why you were put in Epidemic 7.
Your opinion isn't worth shit, Sv3rige.
Really saying this incident, this whatever you want to call it, disease process was and is my greatest teacher. I learned so much from it. Anyways, I read about it in many videos. I'm so thankful for it because I'm not caught up in the social media game anymore. I don't focus about perfect aesthetics or any of that. That's why I also stopped flexing and all of that because I'm not caught up anymore. I learned what is truly important, and that is your health.
That's very good, but you still ate a very high fiber diet. And
Why wouldn't you? The more fibre you eat, the lower your mortality risk, the lower your stroke risk. There's no upper limit. The more fibre we eat, the more protected we are. Type in PubMed, P-U-B-M-E-D, into a search engine, Sv3rige, and all the data is there. Type in fibre and find out the truth for yourself, just for once.
And from what I saw now, you eat an 80-10-10 diet.
Rich, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I want to help you. I hope you're healthy and thriving. And our biology is the same for everyone. We're meant to eat plants.
Yeah, and it's not a carnivore biology by a long shot.
Everything we need without the bad stuff.
We're not cats, Sv3rige. We're primates, in case you hadn't noticed.
We don't need cholesterol. We don't need saturated fats. In fact, they're really detrimental to our health.
Okay, thank you, man. But why would you then be switching from this vegan diet to this vegan diet and so on?
Oh, that's very simple. He was eating primarily for bodybuilding, so he's eating a lot more fat and protein. And now his emphasis is on health. So he's eating nearer to what the Blue Zones ate. So the longest lived people on record, down to the 1940s, they ate 85% of their diet as carbohydrate, purple sweet potatoes, rice, vegetables and fruit. So they're the longest lived people in the world. And that's the total opposite of eating like tons of meat. So why would you do that, Sv3rige?
If our biology is all the same, then you should be thriving basically on any vegan diet, eating any kind of plants. You could assimilate the nutrients and be perfect.
If he wasn't assimilating the nutrients, he wouldn't have been twice your size, Sv3rige.
Perfectly healthy, just as it is with our actual natural diet of raw meat. You don't need to think, what animal will I be eating, how much of fat and how much of the actual dead flesh or whatever.
Sv3rige, if it was on natural diet like raw meat and raw liver and rotten old eggs, people would be eating it, but no one is eating it except you. It's not natural, it's not healthy, it's not delicious. And you really don't mind like getting some lovely delicious plant foods together, cooking something up. It's a gastronomic delight. Or you can stand there and be choking down this liver and pretend to be enjoying it like a nut job. No one is eating that way, Sv3rige, except for you. Well, virtually no one. It's certainly not available in restaurants, so that tells you something.
You don't even think about food, you don't obsess about food. It's very easy. That alone already proves that something is not right there.
You can't argue with that logic, eh?
And of course we need cholesterol. If you don't get enough cholesterol from your diet, then your body will try to make more of it.
We make all the cholesterol we need from plant precursors via the acetyl coenzyme A pathway. How do you not know this, Reg? Why are you talking about it if you don't know? We make all the cholesterol we need, but we don't make the excess that drives the number one cause of death in humans and raises the risk of all-cause mortality.
Up until a point, because eventually it can't, which is why a lot of vegans have quite low cholesterol. And
a lot of vegans have very low cholesterol because the cholesterol score, what we call normal, is based on a sick population who eat a lot of animal products. You want cholesterol to be low. That's what protects you from disease.
this is what causes all of the hormonal issues.
Oh, hormone, yeah, I can't build any testosterone. Yeah, I'm so unwell.
The mental issues and so on.
Oh yeah, I'm so mental. I've researched and found out what is the scientific consensus on what's healthy, and I've implemented it, and my health's gone great, and that of my clients has gone great. Whereas you believe every single conspiracy theory load of nonsense that comes along, and you have the gall to call vegans mentally retarded. Nerve of the guy.
And of course, if you eat a high carb diet, as you do now, 80-10-10, you're not getting any fat.
I think you'll find that you're getting 10% of your calories as fats, right? So you got that wrong as well.
Try to convert the fructose and whatever carbs you're eating into saturated animal fat.
Nonsense.
Your body runs on animal fat.
I think you'll find our body's preferential fuel source is glycogen. You just need to look it up for more than a second, Sv3rige.
Are an animal. Your cells are made out of saturated animal fat.
If you're talking about muscle cells, I think you'll find they're primarily made out of protein. Yeah, there's some fat, some cholesterol in the membrane, but that's only makes up a tiny fraction. It's fat cells that are made out of fat, Sv3rige, not muscle cells.
And cholesterol, a big part of the cells. So of course you need it, because if you couldn't create cells, you would die. You couldn't even...
Yeah, and yet we eat very low fat, we eat no cholesterol, and we've got big, strong muscle cells, and you don't, Sv3rige. So what's your point?
Gain any weight, you couldn't make your Vegains and all of that.
And yet we are.
That's what they are made out of. When you flex, you're showing cholesterol and saturated animal fat.
No, when you pull your top up and you show your muffin top there, then you're showing fat and cholesterol. I think you'll find that fat is inert tissue and can't actually flex.
You realize that. So you can't in any way say that we don't need that.
We don't need to ingest exogenous versions of that, because we, like the animals some of us foolishly choose to eat, can make all we need from the plant precursors. You're getting it all wrong, Sv3rige. Why are you not understanding what he's saying?
Showing that. If you show off your body, you're showing off cholesterol and saturated animal fat.
Well, if you're Mr. Blobby, you are.
Your cells. If you eat animal foods, that's all that you're getting. When you eat a vegan diet, because you're still young, your body does everything to convert the food into those nutrients.
I'm nearly 50. How am I surviving, Sv3rige? Why am I twice as big and strong as you? What's happened? You're not making any sense, son.
And yes, they are nutrients, and cholesterol is an antioxidant also.
Do you know, Sv3rige, it's perfectly possible to get antioxidants without cholesterol, which leads to the number one cause of death in humans. And in fact, plant foods on average have 64 times the antioxidants of animal products. So don't go trying to spout about antioxidants, sound clever.
Really detrimental. No one deserves to have pain out there. It's horrible to wake up with chest pain, or just when you're not functioning well. All these Western diseases, they are not supposed to exist, and we can...
I get it, man, but I gotta say you've been brainwashed. It has nothing to do with our natural diet.
Captain Conspiracy's calling other people brainwashed.
Humans always ate animals.
Humans always ate animals, yeah, and humans used to die of infectious diseases before the atherosclerosis would kill them. Now, in the Western world, modern medicine has all but gotten rid of infectious diseases, so now what's the problem? The atherosclerosis, the heart disease, the stroke, etc.
All of the longest living people eat animals. None of them complain about any of that, but...
That's not really what the blue zones are saying. The blue zone studies, where the longest lived people on record were studied, at most like about 10% of their diet from animal products. And now there's only one blue zone left. The other ones, they've started eating more animal products and now they're dying of all the same diseases. The only blue zone left is actually Loma Linda in California, where you've got meat eaters, vegans, vegetarians, pescatarians. The good thing about these Adventist health studies is that the compounding variables are all accounted for. Like, they all are very health conscious. They exercise, they tend to not smoke, they tend to not drink. Even the meat eaters eat only a small fraction of their diet as meat. And which group outperform the others by far? The vegans, in nearly every single way. So we don't need to eat meat, Sv3rige.
Let's be real here for once.
That would be
Vegains,
nice.
I don't know your real name. Man, since when are people sick, and what do most people eat in the last
Animal products, a lot more than we used to.
100 years? What has happened? More and more carbs, processed foods.
More and more refined sugar, like refined grains, refined oil, and animal products, not whole plant foods. I think on average, the average American eats about 6% of their diet as whole plant foods. So that's what we should be eating. That's what we should be advocating. Yeah, I agree with you. Like, refined carbs, refined oils are horrible for health as well. I'm not denying that. But animal products are equally horrible. Well, worse.
Vegetable oils. What does your average human eat nowadays who has chest pains?
Saturated fat, trans fats, and cholesterol is scientifically proven without a shadow of a doubt. Look at the science.
Bread, pasta, rice, margarine. Or
Whole grain pasta, whole grain rice. It's not going to give you heart disease, son. It's protective.
or some other fat.
Look at the
Always some kind
data.
of vegetable oils. Cooked meat, and if any, then some kind of sausages or other processed meat that's made.
There's people eating healthy, like keto diets, like celebrities giving themselves heart disease, and they're eating like whole foods, you know, whole plant foods plus animal products. Look it up.
And if any, then some kind of sausages or other processed meat that's maybe 20 to a maximum of 30% of their diet. It's always plant-based.
There's a huge difference between processed plant foods and whole plant foods, Sv3rige. Look at the data.
You reverse that by eating a plant-based lifestyle, a plant-based diet. And it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. That's why I'm saying lifestyle. Because a diet, you on a diet, yeah, because you can be disciplined for a time. I'm doing this diet now, I'm shredding down, but eventually you will binge and we need something not to hop on another, we need a lifestyle. And that is a lifestyle. You can eat in abundance. Yeah, look.
You're kind of describing a religion, something that you're committed to.
No, I think a religion, Sv3rige, requires the worship of a god or gods. So you're talking out of your bumhole again?
And nobody should be doing that.
Behind me. Fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grains, starches, that's what I'm talking about. Get the starches in. Feel amazing. Free of stimulants. I'm caffeine free. I don't use any stimulants. I'm high of the good stuff.
I would say if you're on such a high sugar diet that you are on a stimulant.
Then you don't understand what a stimulant is. A stimulant is something which gives you artificial energy that you then have to kind of pay back. Whereas carbohydrate is our species-specific preferred fuel source, and sugars in whole food form are amazing for us when they're attached to the fibre and the polyphenols. Of course, refined sugar is horrible, but no, it's real energy. It's what we're meant to be having. It's what all anthropoid primates primarily eat. You're not a cat, Sv3rige. You're not. You can't lick your own bumhole. I'm sorry.
Come on.
Sugar. Give me the starches. Give me the carbohydrates. Give your body what it needs. And feel good. Feel amazing. Without hurting the animals and the environment in the process.
Yeah, it's all about not hurting the animals or the environment, which...
Well, it's not all about that, really. Well, for me, it was all about health, and then not hurting animals in the environment was a happy side effect. And who wouldn't want to do that in their right mind if they're a decent person?
is a religious
And they want somewhere for their children to be able to live.
belief. I don't care about hurting the animals because I actually enjoy hunting. And as far
Oh, what a lovely person you are.
as the environment goes, if you actually look into it, veganism is worse for the environment.
So the vast majority of climate scientists unequivocally put the majority of blame for most of the ills on animal agriculture. Again, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. The burden of proof is on you. The overwhelming preponderance of data is on the side of vegans, so the onus on you to show the new data. And yeah, in the light of new data, like, of course, a clever person would change their opinion. But there's no way you can disprove this overwhelming mountain of evidence. So if you're intelligent, get on board. And if you're not intelligent, keep spouting your garbage.
You deserve it. Maybe give it a try. Please give it a try. I urge you to give it a try. I want to help you. I want that everyone out there feels as good as I am because I'm so happy. I'm so alive. I'm so full of...
You sound like you're on stimulants.
Yeah, he sounds really alive, doesn't he, and thriving. Whereas often you sound like you're half asleep.
You're not very balanced, so to speak. I'm sure that you also crash during the day, whereas I...
Are you? Okay, prove it. Again, don't just make stuff up. You silly thing. I'm sure you crash every 5 seconds.
don't, and this is exactly why I make videos. I want people to be as happy as me and to enjoy life, to be able to go out into nature, to look at the sun and the trees.
You need to stop staring at that sun. You're going to burn your eyes out, boy.
And to be amazed by it, to be just amazed by being alive. This is how I...
Why not let every being be amazed at being alive? Why do you want to put a knife in their neck? Do you know what I mean? Have some common decency.
Feel. This is what the chemicals in my body do, because when you...
And that's why you want to be nasty to everyone and everything.
Have a healthy gut, they travel to your brain and make you feel really good. And this is why I promote my diet.
You know that the vast majority of monoamines are made from short-chain fatty acids, right? In the gut, as you said. But you know that short-chain fatty acids are made best from fiber. You can make a small amount from protein, but exponentially more from fiber. So if you want happy, feel-good hormones, why are you not eating fiber?
And I don't...
If you knew the slightest thing about the gut microbiome, you'd be aware of this. This is kindergarten stuff. How do you not know it? Why are you talking about it?
I eat carbohydrates. I eat fruit, but I eat it for hydration.
Sv3rige, fruit has got sugar in. Don't you know that sugar is an anti-nutrient? Why are you changing your spiel now?
If I'm in a warm climate, or to get the sugar now and then, but I don't eat it because I see it as actual food. It doesn't make me satisfied. It doesn't repair my body if I've damaged it by doing any kind of exercise.
When do you exercise? Never. And you realise that it's nutrients that repair the body, whether the nutrients come from animal flesh or they come from the plants. That is the reason why you're sending the animal flesh in the first place is irrelevant, except you protect yourself from disease.
Without hurting the environment and the animals. Then, hernia. You see how good I look in the right frame? Just regaining that all on a vegan lifestyle. Saturated fats, cholesterol, heavy metals, all the animal fats, which cause diabetes. You can reverse it. Stop your bodies.
How can you mix in cholesterol and saturated fat, which all animals have, with heavy metals?
Well, that's very easy, Sv3rige. So toxins biomagnify up the food chain. So every step you go up is exponentially more. So plants have got the least, like small animals have got loads. Medium animals eat those their whole lives, so they have tons more. Big animals eat those out, so that, you know. And where do toxins store? In the fat. I rest my case.
Yeah, you've really been brainwashed. This is really the definition of being brainwashed.
Said the conspiracy theory crazed man. Yeah, he's been brainwashed.
Capacity of healing are incredible if you let it heal. So please stop hitting your shin. It's a metaphor against the table. Stop eating animal product and give it the fuel. Give it the starches, the fruits, the veggies, the legumes. Cut out the animal products. Hernia. What is it? It's so...
You know that I've been vegan myself, right?
Yeah, I seem to recall. You were eating a junk food diet, then you went 100% whole plant foods. Of course, because your diet was horrible previously, you invited a load of the pathogenic Bacteroides bacteria to live in the colon. Then you put in nothing but whole food, and of course there was far too much fibre to be processed. So then you pooed yourself in public and got all embarrassed. If you'd have had half an idea about nutrition, you would have slowly taken out some of your animal products and junk and then put in more and more fibre over the course of a few weeks. Then your enterotype would have been Prevotella dominant and you would have really thrived. But no, you pooed yourself and then had it out for veganism ever since. Am I somewhere in the ballpark there?
And the only 2 surgeries I had in my life were when I was vegan. I almost died from it. I'm not...
I almost die from being a vegan every day. And I believe when you ate that bone marrow, you didn't feel too sharp, did you, Sv3rige? I've forgotten about that.
Really sure if you even know this.
So common. It's so common. They cut cut me open 4 times, and they went to my gut. So your fascia, which holds together your stomach wall, was cut open, and once it cuts open and sealed again, it's never as strong as it initially was. So 80% who had that procedure develop a hernia. I went bananas because I have all that energy from that carbs and training. I love it, and I can go forever because there's no inflammation in my body going on. The most anti-inflammatory diet I'm on, so I can keep going and going. And the nitric oxide,
The carbs are very inflammatory, and you should...
Nonsense! Whole plant foods are massively anti-inflammatory. It's animal products and processed junk that are pro-inflammatory. Ask any doctor, ask him like the whole alphabet of different markers they look for, CRP, all that good stuff. Just ask any doctor, it's really simple.
You could really look into people who do a high carb diet and get diabetes and heart disease and so on, especially if they work out a lot.
Eat my food and I produce while training. I'm a super saiyan because I eat a whole food plant-based diet and practice healthy lifestyle choices. Starches, fruits, get it in and feel amazing.
We get it.
So,
you said what you eat 10 times.
Well, you don't seem to be getting it, Sv3rige.
I don't know, a fishing net, no, it's really thin, it weighs nothing, you hardly see it, and it's so flexible, and it's they had another surgery and they put it under my abs. Now it's perfect. I deadlifted 180 kilograms, no problem. Heavy squats, whatever, I can do whatever again. And now I have a strong core because the net is perfectly implemented in my body and the hernia is fixed and I'm feeling better than ever before.
You keep saying that. Who are you trying to convince? Us or yourself?
Well, he's deadlifting and squatting like massive weights. He seems to be doing all right relative to you, Sv3rige, so I'd say he's pretty convincing.
Spiritual talk, that we all come, our higher mind is like having themes for us that we experience as a spiritual being in this human experience. And one of the themes for me was stop focusing on the surface shit, on the numbers, being caught up in the social media game, how I look, my appearance. If I don't look good, I'm not happy. If I look good, I'm happy. If the numbers go up, I'm super happy. If
That's
the
all
numbers go
great.
down, I'm unhappy. The true happiness that you create from the inside, that is lasting. Creating happiness in the moment with what you have. Maybe contact me and we don't talk about it on social media if it's uncomfortable for you because you're so, I get it, this is your, why am I liking this video? But I don't dislike it because I'm not a hater, but I'm not liking it. Because that is your persona now. I'm this carnivore, and people who think carnivore, or actually, I don't even know what you're currently on. I just remember you as the carnivore. I don't know if you're still a carnivore, but...
I don't know why people associate me with carnivore diet or call me a carnivore.
Maybe because you eat like whole squirrels with the fur on.
Or, yes, technically, by the biological definition, I would be actually eating a carnivore diet.
Biological definition, it's quite the opposite, isn't it? Sv3rige?
Because it's an animal that eats at least 20% of its diet as raw meat, but over 90% of people who call themselves carnivores.
You know you're talking about omnivores, Sv3rige. And by the way, the person who invented the modern way of taxonomy, Carl Linnaeus, he categorized us as frugivores, a subset of herbivore. He actually made the whole system that you're talking about, but still you'll say we're carnivores. But yeah, what does he know? He's just the guy who invented it.
Carnivore don't eat anything close to a carnivore diet. They eat cooked steaks with salt. It's just a trendy garbage diet.
Obviously still a vegan hater. So yeah.
I don't hate vegans at all. I could be best friends with vegans. It's the vegans who usually have a problem with the meat eat.
Now, I wonder why that is, Sv3rige. You know, you were seen outside VegFest with a severed pig's head. You do go into vegan restaurants with dead animals and you're pretending to eat them to wind everyone up. I wonder why vegans seem to be like aggressive towards you. Is that anything to do with you? Is it like you're trying to frame them and make out that you're this good guy? Come off it, son.
Eaters.
Bloody hell.
My problem is veganism as a whole because it's destroying the health of people. I see vegans as the victims.
Yeah, it's terrible. That's why a whole foods plant-based diet prevents 14 of the 15 leading causes of death, treats most and reverses like 4 or 5 of them. Yeah, so terrible, Sv3rige.
That is your persona and people follow you because of that, and now I know how it is on social media. Oh, this is my career, I make a living out of it. So I need to keep going and be reaffirmed from all the people that, so yeah, just contact me. I tell them what to eat for a week, for a month, and see how good you can feel. Leaving the animals alone, because they don't deserve to needlessly suffer. It's just, I don't know, doesn't resonate.
He destroyed the globe.
You're still on that flat earth nonsense, Sv3rige. You're not doing anything for your credibility here. And then he always finishes with this plants don't have propaganda, which other people will read as, oh, if you don't eat animals, you're going to be deficient. But vitamin A, we make from plant precursors from the 600 odd carotenoids. B6 is in a vegan diet in abundance. B12, 2/5 of Americans have B12 insufficiency or deficiency. 2/5 of Americans are not vegan, so we should all be looking at supplement. Now, vitamin D is meant to come from the sun. Sean Baker eats nothing but meat. His vitamin D in his blood test was through the floor, so that's a load of garbage. Vitamin F, there's no such thing. We used to call ALA, which is short chain omega-3, and LA, which is short chain omega-6, which comes from plants, by the way. We used to call those two vitamin F, so you're just showing your stupidity here. K2 you can get from natto, or K1 is abundant in a vegan diet. Bacteria in various organs convert K1 into K2, it's not an issue. Then you're showing non-essential amino acids, tripeptides and things that we make from plant precursors. Heme iron is hypertoxic, you can get more than enough iron from plants. Heme iron, you tend to get too much. Look at Frank Tofano with his iron overload issues. Got hydroxyl radicals, raises your risk for cancer. Stupid. CoQ10 is in a vegan diet. Cholesterol we make from plant precursors. And CLA is just a type of omega-6. Again, we get that LA, which is part of that vitamin F with nonsense, which you know nothing about, which comes from plants anyway. Meat doesn't have tens of thousands of phytonutrients found in plants. So really, this is all back to front. And if you're gonna post this nonsense, I should post this tens of thousands of things you can't get from me, and you've really shot yourself in the foot, Sv3rige, and you're proving your nutritional illiteracy. Now click this.